Do you like reading?
Yes, I really enjoy reading. It helps me relax after a long day and gives me a break from screens and daily stress. I usually read novels and personal development books because they allow me to learn something new, while also enjoying a good story at the same time.
Do you prefer to read on paper or on a screen?
I prefer reading on paper rather than on a screen. Holding a physical book feels more comfortable and less distracting for me. I can focus better without notifications or eye strain, and I also enjoy the feeling of turning pages and highlighting important parts by hand.
When do you need to read carefully and when not?
I need to read carefully when I'm studying, signing important documents, or following instructions, because small details can make a big difference. However, when I'm reading for entertainment, such as novels or magazines, I don't pay as much attention to every word and simply enjoy the content.
Do you often read books? When?
Yes, I read books quite often, usually in the evening before going to bed. It helps me relax and clear my mind after a busy day. I also read on weekends when I have more free time, especially in the afternoon when I can sit quietly and focus.
Are your reading habits now different from before?
No, my reading habits haven't changed much over time. I have always enjoyed reading in my free time, especially in the evenings. I still prefer physical books and similar genres. The only difference is that now I try to read more regularly and choose books more carefully.
Have you ever read a novel that has been adapted into a film?
Yes, I have read a novel that was later adapted into a film. For example, I read Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone before watching the movie Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. I enjoyed both, but I felt the book described the characters and details more deeply than the film.
Which one do you prefer, reading books or watching movies?
I prefer reading books because they allow me to imagine the characters and scenes in my own way. When I read, I feel more involved in the story and can understand the characters' thoughts more deeply. Although movies are entertaining, books usually give a richer and more detailed experience. Recently, I read a famous fairy tale called The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. The story is about a young prince who travels from one planet to another and meets different adults along the way. Each character represents a particular human weakness, such as pride, greed, or narrow-mindedness. Through his journey, the prince shares simple but meaningful ideas about love, friendship, and what truly matters in life. I read this story about 2 months ago during a quiet weekend at home. I had heard about it for years, but never had the chance to read it carefully. Since I wanted something light, yet meaningful, I decided to give it a try. I usually read in the evenings, so I finished the book over a few nights before going to bed. I truly enjoyed it, even though it is often considered a children's book. What surprised me most was how deep and emotional it felt. The language is simple, but the message is powerful. Some parts made me pause and reflect on my own life, especially the relationship between the prince and the rose. From this story, I learned that adults often focus too much on numbers, status, and material success, while forgetting the importance of imagination and genuine relationships. It reminded me that what is essential in life cannot always be seen with the eyes, but must be felt with the heart. Overall, it was a short story, but it left a lasting impression on me.
Why do most children like listening to stories before bedtime?
Most children enjoy listening to stories before bedtime because it helps them feel calm and secure at the end of the day. After spending hours at school or playing, a story creates a quiet moment where they can relax and focus on something pleasant. It also strengthens the emotional bond between children and their parents, especially when a parent reads aloud. In addition, stories stimulate a child's imagination and allow them to explore different worlds while still feeling safe in their own bed. This routine often becomes a comforting habit, so children begin to associate storytelling with warmth, attention, and a sense of stability before going to sleep.
Is a good storyline important for a movie?
Yes, a good storyline is essential for a movie because it keeps the audience emotionally engaged from beginning to end. Even if a film has impressive visual effects or famous actors, it can feel empty without a strong plot. A well-developed story gives meaning to the characters' actions and helps viewers connect with their struggles and decisions. It also creates suspense and curiosity, which make people want to continue watching. When the storyline is clear and carefully structured, the film becomes more memorable and satisfying. In contrast, a weak or confusing plot often leaves the audience disappointed, regardless of how visually appealing the movie may be.
Do you think films with many celebrities are more likely to be popular?
Films with many celebrities are often more likely to attract attention at first, because well-known actors already have large fan bases. People may choose to watch a movie simply because they admire a particular star. However, popularity in the long term usually depends on the quality of the film rather than the number of famous names involved. If the story, acting, or direction is weak, audiences will quickly lose interest despite the star power. On the other hand, some low-budget films with relatively unknown actors have become highly successful due to strong storytelling and positive word of mouth. So while celebrities can increase initial interest, they do not guarantee lasting popularity.
What films are popular in your country right now?
Right now in India, a mix of big-budget blockbusters and diverse genres are drawing audiences' attention. Mihiraa has become one of the most talked-about films of 2025, with its music and emotional story making it hugely popular nationwide. Kantara, A Legend Chapter 1 also remains widely discussed for its powerful visuals and cultural themes, appealing beyond its original regional audience. Action-packed entertainers like Coolie and War 2 continue to trend because of their star power and high production values. Other films such as Houseful 5 and Mihiraa Simha have also attracted viewers recently, reflecting varied tastes in romance, comedy, mythology, and animation across the country.
Do you think reading stories is more beneficial for children than watching television?
Reading stories is generally more beneficial for children because it requires active imagination and deeper concentration. When children read or listen to stories, they create images in their minds and interpret characters in their own way, which strengthens creativity and critical thinking. Television, in contrast, provides ready-made visuals, so children may become more passive viewers. Reading also improves vocabulary, grammar, and overall language development, which are essential for academic success. That said, educational programs can still be valuable if they are carefully chosen and watched in moderation. The key difference lies in the level of mental engagement, as reading usually demands more effort and participation from the child.
How has technology changed the way people experience stories?
Technology has transformed storytelling by making it more accessible and interactive. In the past, People mainly relied on printed books or oral storytelling, but now they can enjoy stories through ebooks, audiobooks, podcasts, and streaming platforms. This convenience allows individuals to access a wide range of content instantly, regardless of location. At the same time, digital effects have enhanced visual storytelling in films and series, creating more immersive experiences. However, this shift has also shortened attention spans, as people often prefer fast-paced content over lengthy novels. While technology offers greater variety and flexibility, it has also changed the depth and pace at which many people engage with stories.